Here we'll talk about, this session is about Netapp, OnTap administration. Okay. So today, yeah, OnTap is basically Netapp operating system. Okay, Netapp storage operating system. Okay. So latest OnTap is latest in -1 version of OnTap is 9.13 T5. Okay, so the thing is, in every environment, suppose you're working as a storage admin, you have to keep your storage arrays or your switches at n-1 version, n-1 stable version, n-1 stable version. Okay, so, and if it is a tool, then n version, latest version. Okay, so here we'll show you. Yeah, tool, no. So n-1 is the operating system, yes, and tool means in Netapp we have different tools. In Netapp we have Occam, okay. We have workflow automation. So the Occam tool is to manage different Netapp arrays together. So you need to keep the Occam version as n version, the latest version. But whenever you are upgrading your storage, your storage firmware, then it should be n-1 stable version. N-1 stable version. Okay. So that why you need this? To avoid bugs. Bugs like we have NTLM bugs. NTLM bugs means your Windows share, it will be disconnected automatically. So that's why you need to upgrade. NTLM bug, SNMP bugs is there. SNMP bugs means suppose you want your Occam, you have added the Netapp array in your Occam tool, and you have integrated the Occam with your SolarWind, that is a tool, and the SolarWind is integrated with ServiceNow. So whenever Netapp is having some issues, Occam will send that error or that issue to the SolarWind, and it will do through SNMP trap. Okay, but if this version is not in a stable version, then SNMP will not work. So you have to always keep like this. Every time you work, right? Suppose nowadays this NTLM SNMP bugs is there, right? After 2 years, maybe some other bug is there. So different bugs will come here. Okay, so here, why do you use OnTap? Why do you use OnTap? Okay, 1 second. Let me just log into my listing. Server show. Okay. Don't worry if you don't understand something, it is okay. I'll teach you everything basics. See, this is the administrative server, not a problem. I want to go with Netapp supports a single Netapp array. It supports NFS, CI phase. These are NAS basically. NAS means file shares. And FCP, iSCSI, these are basically SAN. SAN means LANs. LANs. Yes. And NDMP is for backup. And you also have NVMe. Okay. So if I give like vServer, add protocols.
What is
NVMe, it's SAN only, but it's for high performance array. I mean high performance applications. It costs a lot. It's another protocol which Netapp is using. Netapp and other storage is using, but it's very costly, so people will not use that. Okay, and there is one more protocol which is there, which is object storage. Like Amazon S3 is there, right? Object storage. same as Netapp will have S3. So I'll just check like test. Okay, I will add this protocol in VME. Okay, and also I will add, yeah, I think this is okay. So NVMe, if you want to have NVMe in a particular V server, then you have to remove the other protocols. Then only you can use this. Means I can remove the protocol. I don't want to remove because I have used this for a lab, right? So the other things will stop working. You understand, right? I don't want to remove it. Suppose I want to create some V server. One second. Test 2 3. Cloud protocols. It's not asking. Not a problem. So yeah. So what I need to do is V server. You just don't concern yourself on this. Okay, I'm just showing something because whenever I got stuck on something, right, I just try to I'll try to fix it. You understand, right? It's just my nature. Yeah, that is the only reason. Instance means if I want to see something in more verbose manner, like I want to see a lot of things in a particular thing, then I use hyphen instance command. It's just a command. It's added, right? So now it's added. Now going to the instance command. If you don't run the instance command, it will also work, but it will give you less output. So you see, data. You see this is only in sorry. Yeah. See, alert protocols in VME. Yeah. Mhm. So now we'll teach you. Yeah. So yeah. So and this Netapp array, you know, this Netapp array is having two nodes. So in Linux, suppose you have a Linux server or a Windows server, then you can have a cluster. When you are having a cluster, it can be a 2 node cluster, 4 node cluster, 6 node cluster, 8 node cluster. Okay, cluster means whenever one server is down, other server is there to cater the applications or business needs. Okay, so yeah, so this is like a node Netapp cluster. So suppose this node is down, right? So these nodes can help you to access the disk shelves, the volumes, the LUNs, the shares, so that you'll not it will not have any downtime. So the business will not be down. Yeah. So it's just for yeah continuity and availability, like yeah non-disruptive. Yeah. Yes. Yes. High availability. So I will teach you. Yeah. One second. I'll teach you on GUI. Okay. One second. Not CLI. So in Netapp, right? In Netapp, if you're only using SAN, okay, then you can have up to 12 nodes. Okay. Yeah, maximum. And if you're using NAS, right, maximum 24 nodes you can have. Maximum 24 nodes you can have. Okay. Yeah. Now I will just log into this. You know, GUI. Netapp a GUI called OnTap On command system manager. Okay, on command system manager. Sorry, already the password was set. So no need. I also don't know. We call it on tap, on tap. So yeah, so it's a on tap. Not sure what is the full form of on tap. Not be a very big name. No, it's actually yeah, it's on tap only. Yeah, yeah. They are not giving any full form. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's possible. Okay. Okay. But he might be very old. I mean, he might be dead now. I guess because he. Yes. Yeah. So this is the system manager. Okay. Whenever you are logging to a Netapp, you'll be using the cluster management IP. Cluster management IP means what is this? Okay. Net. This. This is the IP. Okay. You can also log using the node IP, but you will be only accessing this node, okay, this node. But normally, if you want to manage both the nodes, you'll be using cluster management IP, which is this one. And these are all data IPs that I've created. These I have created for NFS and CFS shares, and these I have created for iScales, which I showed people yesterday. Okay. This SVM is basically it used to it called as storage virtual machine or V server. Previously it was called as V server. So it's a container where your LAMs or your CFS shares will be located or your volumes will be located. Whenever you are creating any share, right, you'll be creating it on a volume. Whenever you are creating a LAN on Netapp, you'll be creating on a volume. Everything that you create in Netapp, right, it will be on volume. You understand, right? Yeah, everything will be on volume only, bro. I like this. I like the CLI heap better, bro. See, these lamps I've created, okay, and this this CFS shares I've created, okay. I've created this one, and these things by default, whenever you are creating a CFS server or something, right? Then this will automatically create these three shares. Automatically, it will create. You're not creating this. This will is basically your volumes home folder, home directory, okay. And whenever you are giving permissions like everyone full control, you are not giving everyone full control. It means you are giving the full control to domain admins, your Wintel domain admins, so they can give share permissions for a particular domain group. Okay, some yeah in the security group. So you are not giving like normal users; it's just domain users you're giving. Okay, so I'll just show you many things here. So let's just see like let me go to the GUI. These are all things I created yesterday. It's very easy, bro. You don't need to remember anything. I'll tell you give very big easy thing. Okay. See, you just do man command. At last, you will get the options, examples. You can use that examples. No need to remember anything. If when I forget something, I just yeah man yeah just remember one command like, or you can do one thing. You just give vs tab cifs cifs tab tab. You can just give tab. You understand, right? Yeah. So these are all things I created. I created this V server. I created this CFS server. I created this domain here. Okay. So I created everything using CLI. So I'll show you using yeah. Even when you're using EMC, right, you're using simcila hyphen v. You understand, right? Cmaxes hyphen v. Like that, I can use cmaxes hyphen h hyphen help. You understand, right? Yeah, hyphen h. You can get the command. I taught somebody Vmax 3 back in 2015 or 16. So I taught him like this hyphen h. When you forget this, do hyphen h. And you won't believe me, he was doing better than me. Although I have working in, yeah, I have probably ran 1000 commands in EMC, maybe more than that. But she was doing really good because he was only concentrating on only one array, only one task, and he became a master on it. Yeah, so that's the thing, bro. But one thing you have to learn is any storage you can do, you have to know like how to get the command, like man command, right? Even for Linux also, you can just use man. It will give you the manual pages. Yeah, yeah, man you can give, and in Brocade you can give hyphen hyphen help. Okay, yeah, in Brocade. Suppose if yeah, it will be recorded. It will be recorded on anywhere. It will be recorded anywhere. So I will go to this. So this is the dashboard. This is your GUI on tab system manager. If you want to check the version, then you check the version here. Okay, and this version is, yeah, yeah. And on tab system manager is not a tool that you install. Occam is a tool. Workflow automation, these are tools, but this is not a tool. It's running in your storage itself. So you just access this using a custom manual leaf IP, okay? So you are just accessing this. And this is basically OS. Why this blue paddle? Because this is simulator. That's why this blue paddle, this name is coming. This is a simulator. This is not an actual array. Okay? Yes, blue paddle or Simbox. Simbox is there. SI SIMBOX. Simbox. Simulator box. Okay. So one second. So initially, if you want to know more about the array, just at the first loop, right? I don't know what is switched to the new XP. Let me check. I've not checked this one. One second. Let me try. Let me see what is trying to mean. Oh. Yeah, this is the latest version. Let me just check what does it mean. Okay, it's going for documentation. Okay. So this is the one. Okay. You can see Simbox, right? So this is the dashboard. Okay, you can see these are the two nodes which where we have created the cluster. So I'll also show you the diagram. Basically, suppose this is one node, it is connected to this shelves here, okay, and the another node is having this shelves here. This node is down. So how this is connected? Connected here, and this node is connected crisscross. So this node is down. This node will take all the operations because control. Yeah, it will control all the things because it is also connected to this disk shelves. Okay. You can check the capacity in Netapp. The storage pool is called as aggregates. Yeah, aggregate. So you can check his here this many. This is the space here. I'll just go here. Okay. So you can see different aggregates that I've created. I've created by default whenever the Netapp is being installed, it will create two root aggregates one per node. Okay, suppose you are having two node cluster, so per node will create root aggregates, and then root aggregates will have your on tab operating system. Only on tab operating system is not for your CFS shares or LUNs. Okay, if you want to create shares and LUNs, then you have to create a separate aggregate which will be called as data aggregate. Okay, I named it as data aggregate. I named it as data. I could have named it anything. Okay, the root aggregate will be like AGGS 0. Okay, HGS 0. I don't know why it's not showing it, but still you can see. Okay. Yeah, this HGS 0, this one. Aggregate means constellation means it means you are pulling some disks together and defining a RAID. Netapp, Netapp supports RAID 4, which is a dedicated single parity RAID group. Then RAID DP, which is a dual parity, dual distributed parity. Then RAID TC, triple parity means it will protect you against three disk failures in a RAID group. Okay. By default your root aggregates will be RAID DP, and then you will have advanced drive partitioning concept, which I showed these people in the lab. So I'll show you here. It's like every disk will be partitioned into three partitions: one root partition, two data partitions. Why? Because if you're using RAID DP for a root aggregate, right? So how many disks is taking? One plus two disk, one data disk, two parity disk. So if you yeah. So what you are having your raw space, you are losing the raw space, right? Your user space is less, right? Because you cannot have your uh, data thing on your parity, right? Parity is only for data protection, right? So so in that case, NetApp has invented one thing, that is advanced drive partitioning. And what it's doing is, it will create three partitions: one root partition, two data partitions. And whenever you're creating the data aggregates, the data partitions it will use the data partitions. Whenever it's root aggregate, it will use the root partitions only. You understand, right? So it's using the usable space better, using the raw space better, so that you do not lose more space in parity. So that's what it's doing. I'll show you the command. 1 second, let me check. Mm, just just show. See, share means advanced die partitioning is there. If it is not, it does not show share, that means advanced die partitioning is not there. And advanced die partitioning is, it's installed in FAS array. FAS means it's a Netapp array where you can use different kind of disk like SATA, which is a slow disk, SAS, which is faster than SATA, SAS 7.2K disk, like the RPM speed is 7.2 thousand, 7 to 7 to 0 0 uh, per minute. Okay. Yeah. And then you can have SSD disk. You can use multiple different kind of disk. But if you are using AFF arrays like all flash array, then you'll be using only SSD disk. Okay. So in case of flash array, you have to, if you want the advanced drive partitioning concept, then you need to configure that during the time of installation, Netapp installation. You cannot configure later, but in all flash array you can configure later also. Okay. So I wanted to show you something. Mm, this is a better command. This is a better command. So let me try this command. Yeah. So you can see this, right? So this is how. So I created I created aggregate. Let me just I created the aggregate like this. So when I created the aggregate, I have chosen this node 1 as the owner of the aggregate. Okay. And then what I did was I defined rate DP on it, dual parity,
Okay.
and I used 5 disks. Okay, like this. So I used 5 disks. Okay, so this is for one of the things. Here every disk is SSD because it's a simulator, right? Simulator mostly they'll give you SSD disk. Like they'll show you like it's a SSD disk. It's just a simulator. It's not a physical array. So
Okay.
physical means you have uh, your physical hardware,
Oh, okay.
and virtual array means you just have the software. You do not have the hardware. You are using the hardware of some other storage and ESX server. Okay, I think somebody is probably joining in. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to go to the older version, right? Older version was little bit much more better for you to explain, but it's okay, bro. This is a newer version. Return to classic version, okay? Let me go to the classic version and try to explain. Yeah, yeah, this is the option, okay? You can switch like this. So you can in the dashboard you can see right alerts and notification. So if it is having some issues at one leaf not at home, okay? Let me fix this. Cluster memory leaf is not at home, okay? I can fix it from here, okay? Or I can fix it from CLI also, okay? So net in show, I can do server cluster. No, no, I don't need this. Is home false. Sorry, not this one. Yeah. So I have reverted back to to its, but do you know why I have this lost the connection? Because it's a cluster management leaf, and I'm logged into Putty using cluster management leaf, okay, and that is the reason why I lost the access, okay. So now I have to again. Okay, let me start this. Let me just share. So you just refresh it here. Refresh. I think I need to relog in again because it's got disconnected at 1 second. Sign in. See, now it's not showing the error, right? The error is not there. If you go to the dashboard, there are no errors, okay? Leaf is a logical interface that we use to access the CFS shares or NFS shares, okay? Or to manage the lungs, everything. So basically, I will explain this concept to you one by one, okay? I'll also share some videos with you. So now what you can do is in the dashboard, right? I can see this application and TS, right? Application TS. Okay. So if you go to the application, if you go to the storage tier, right, you can add an aggregate here. If you want to create an aggregate something, you can create an aggregate from here in storage tiers. Okay. If you go to storage from here, so if you go to storage, right, you can from here you can manage your virtual machines, SVMs, which is nothing but just a container to have your shares, learns, volumes. Huh? So okay, so and CFS, NFS shares, Q trees, quotas, everything you can do here. Junction path. Junction path is nothing but a path through which you mount the volume to your SVM's root volume, okay, or root namespace, okay. Don't worry if you are not able to understand anything. You'll be able to understand everything while I'll just go one by one, okay. And you see network, right? In network we can create everything: subnet, interface, ethernet ports, broadcast domains, IP spaces. We can create everything. And there are protection tab. In protection, using the protection tab, you can do your different kind of replications like snap mirror, async, global, metro cluster. You can do metro cluster with your snap mirror synchronous applications, your SVM DR, vault. You can create your snapshot policies. Your schedule means cron job schedule, like when this snapshot will be taken, okay. So those things you can do. And event and job, you can go and see like what kind of alerts events are there, what kind of system errors are there. You can see all those things. If you do anything, then you can do anything, okay. Like any jobs, if you run jobs, then you can see everything there, okay. And if you go to the configuration, right, from configuration, what you can do if you want to do replication, right, the first step is to create. After creating the intercluster leaf, the first step is to do cluster pairing. You can do from here. You can, you know add your SVM pairing. You can do your SVM pairing here. You can do a lot of other stuff like auto support. Auto support is basically before, if suppose your Netapp is having some issues, right, so you will generate auto support. It will go to Netapp, so they will get the logs and they will analyze the logs, right. So it's just logs basically, okay. So I'll explain everything to you. One second. So basically, advanced die partitioning, right? So what is advanced die partitioning? Just let me 1 second. Let me just wait 1 second. Let me just first put my charge. Yeah, put in charge. 1 second. একটু পরে চালাচ্ছি, না সবসময় ইকো কেন? Why is this not working? Second. joined. Okay. Hi Mama, thank you for joining. So, we talk about advanced die partitioning. So as I said, right, during the time of Netapp installation, two one aggregate per node will be created, the root aggregates, and the root aggregates will have RAID DP. By default it will have RAID DP. RAID DP means two parity disk. Okay, so it will have like configuration of one data disk and two parity disk, one D plus 2P. Okay, 1D plus 2P. Okay, in root aggregates. So what is happening? It is losing data due to parity disk. Losing data means the usable space is less. That is the reason Netapp has introduced one concept, which is advanced drive partitioning concept. Okay. So in ONTAP, everything like in other storages we use spool. In ONTAP we use aggregates. So the disk, from multiple disks we create the aggregates, and we define while creating the aggregate we define the RAID properties for the particular group of disk. Okay, and in Netapp we have RAID 4, as I said, RAID 4, RAID DP, RAID TEC. Okay, so in advanced die partition, RAID TEC is RAID triple parity. Okay, so triple parity means it will have like if you are having like 4 disks, then it will have one data disk and 3 parity disk. So means it will protect against 3 disk failures in a particular RAID group. Okay, so yeah, so I'll give you a concept about this thing. So let me go to that. You know, so advanced partitioning. What is advanced partitioning? Advanced type partitioning means every disk will be partitioned into three partitions. One is root partition and two data partition. So whenever the root aggregate is being created, so it will take the root partition only, and the data aggregates will be created the data partitions. Okay. So let me go to the lab. Oh, I need to log in again because I. Sorry. You can see this, right? So this is basically your root aggregates. By default, it will be RAID DP at the time of installation only. You cannot change it. This is your data aggregate. So root partitions that you have, this aggregate will use the root partitions, and this data aggregate will use the data partitions only. Okay. How do you see that? Let me show in GUI. Last three sessions I showed the CLI. Today I'm showing the GUI. Okay. Just click here. You can see the disk, right? 24 disk is there. All as SSD disk. Okay. The root aggregate, the root is taking this much space, and other aggregates are taking this much space, and available storage spares are this much. Okay, you can see this here. If you go to the inventory, you see the disk. Okay, these are the disk you can see. Okay, so here if you see right here 70 GB, what does it mean? 70 GB means the two root aggregates you had, right? If root aggregate will be created per node at the time of installation, this is a 2 node data cluster. Cluster means, a cluster means group of server, group of arrays. So group of something, okay, it can be 2, it can be 4, it can be 6, it can be 8, okay. So why do you need this? For high availability. So if one node is there, one node is down, the other node is there to serve the user request or business request, application request, okay. You will not have face any downtime. Let me just go to the GUI. One second. Actually, yesterday I had, today only I had some problem. Like I had food poisoning, so that's why I'm little bit low today. So yeah, I didn't eat outside, but anyway. Total is 600 GB. Yes. If you go here, aggregate this much. Spare you have 148.8 GB. Okay, this is spare disk. Spare disk means you can use the disk to expand your aggregate, or you can use the disk to create new data aggregates. Okay. Now we can do is you just go down. You can see here. These are the spare disks which is available. Spare and non-partition disks, these are available. Okay. And if you go to inventory, you will see shared, container type shared. Container type shared means advanced drive partitioning is enabled, and you can enable this at the time of installation for FAS arrays. FAS means an array which will have multiple kind of disks like SAS, SATA, SSD, and if you have like all flash array AFF disk, then you can do it after installation also. Okay, so that is something you have to remember. The disk which is not partitioned, right? If it is not partitioned into root partition, data partition, then you will see the values here as spare. With the spare disk, this is not partition actually. This one is not. This one is not partition. Okay, the spare disk are not partition. Okay, and if you see some other informations like data parity, T parity, the container type, right? So that means it's not partition. Okay. So I'll go to aggregate, and I'll just try to see a data root aggregate. See, the root aggregate is online, it's owned by cluster C. In Netapp, whenever you are adding the disk, we can configure auto owning feature. Okay. So what does it mean? That node will Netapp on tap operating system will decide which node will own that disk, or you can disable it, or you can manually uh, do disk ownership as well. Okay. So the command is disk own. Let me show the command. GUI I have to check because normally I do CLI only. Disk assign. Okay. Disk assign is the command. Okay. Suppose you forget some command, right? You can just give man disk assign. See, you'll get all this nice information here, and then you can do this one. Storage disk assign, the disk number, then hyphen order node. This is you can do. Okay. Yeah. And if you want to enable auto assignment, then this is the one. Disk storage disk assign hyphen auto hyphen node. So automatically it will be owned by disk whenever you are adding a disk. So even if you give this command, it will fail. You understand? You can learn a lot more in the man command. You don't have to. You don't have to. You can take help always. Okay. Now one more thing I wanted to show you is I go to this here disk information, right? So I'll see what kind of disk is used by this. So this aggregate is created by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 disk. Okay, it's RAID DB 5 disk, all are SSD disk. Every disk is 28.44 GB. Okay, usable size is only this much because why? Because this is a RAID DB disk. one data plus two parity. That's the reason. Okay, so you can see all these things here. Okay, and if I want to see more about the advanced die partitioning, then I can go here. I'll just disconnect these sessions. Okay, I don't need these sessions. I'll just disconnect this. I have yesterday I used this to create some safer shares and other things. So I'll just disconnect these sessions. Okay. Yeah. So I'll only have my Netapp array. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to go for the the diag mode in Netapp. Tab command works. You just need to give tab command. You'll get everything. Okay. This partition for you know partition. I don't need to give partitions. I can check owner no owner node maybe 01. Yes, I check this. So you can see here, right? Every disk, 24.88 GB disk is partitioned into three partitions. The first one is root partition, and the other two are data partitions. Okay, so this is advanced die partition. So advanced die partitioning is enabled here. Okay, although this is just a simulator. In Netapp, as we said, we have RAID 4, RAID DP, RAID TEC. So RAID DP is basically the same implementation, double parity, dual parity implementation of RAID 6 only. Okay, which will ensure that it can protect you from two disk failure in that particular RAID group. Okay, and by default, as I said, the root aggregates will be RAID DP only. Okay, so if I want to create an aggregate, right, let me just create a, yesterday I showed using CLI, right, today I'll show GUI. Okay, so I go to aggregates. I do use GUI sometimes, but only when I need to do some troubleshooting something. I need to see something easily. Then I do that. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me do one thing. Let me create. Let me delete some. I'm deleting this. Oh shit! I have to go here. I have to check the volumes. I have to go offline. I have to create a junction path. Oh no! Too many things I need to do. Bro. Let me do from CLI. Okay. Reserver test. Volume is test 1. Volume is test 2. Test 1. Test 2. Now I'll try to do something from GUI. Okay? It's easy. Let me just try to do something. 1 second. Refresh. I'll delete this volume. Okay. Yes, I'm sure. So I delete this volume, then again I need to check test test. One second. I go to SVM, I go to test. Okay. Aggregate address. I go to aggregates. I go to data aggregates. I go to volumes. I delete this volume. I could have done the same thing in GUI, but it's easy for me to do from CLI. GUI I need to search for the options where it is. It's easy for me to do CLI. So then I will try to create a aggregate. Okay, aggregate, aggregate. Oh no, man. Okay, so I can create an aggregate some other name. Okay, I just create like AGGR 2 underscore data, something like that. I need to browse the disk. I do in cluster 2. Okay, not in cluster 1. I do this one. Number of disk. I do not have more disk here. Rate configuration, I will change it to RAID 4. Okay, you can see three type of configurations there. RAID 4. Okay, you can see that I'm using 8 disk. So you can see this much is used for the parity, this much is for data disk. Okay, so minimum I can use is 2. So I'll just use 2 disk or maybe 4. Okay, save it. And here snap log means what? Snap log means it's a warm, it means warm. Write once, read many times. I saw this being used in one of the projects in Novartis. So what does it mean? It means that you want some image files to be stored in a volume and you don't want anyone to delete those volumes. So what you will do? You will do snap log for that. Okay. So you will just place the image files, and while doing the snap log it will have a snapshot policy, and you cannot delete the files or you cannot upload any new files until and unless that snapshot policy, the snapshot is expired. Okay, so that is the reason why we need to use snaplog, but I don't need snaplog here. So non snaplog, not a problem. Okay, and then I'll just let me check. Yeah, here mirror aggregate option is there. Normally I do this for software defined storage. Okay, mirror aggregate means this aggregate will be mirrored to other aggregate, and if this aggregate is down then other aggregate is there. This is for high availability, and I use this if we see that there is something like some critical application is there, but normally mirror aggregate will be used in software defined storage like ONTAP select, and it will be used for root aggregates only, not for data aggregates. Okay, so I'll not be using mirror aggregates. I'll just submit to it. Yeah, that's okay. What is showing low hot spare means your free disk will be less. So in case you have some disk failure, something of the RAID group, then you'll have lesser disk to replace with. Okay, so now you see, right, this is you go to jobs. See, this one I created, right, aggregate create success. So now I go to aggregates, and you see this aggregate created data underscore AGGR1, which I created, and it is, if you go to this aggregate, then you see, no, no, I have not created this aggregate. Which one I created? One second. First one is data. Yeah, this is the one I created. Okay, you can see 4 disk. Okay, you can see 4 disk. You can see it's you can see RAID 4. Okay, you can see this, and it's in node 2. You can see that. Okay, you can see in all in the overview. Okay, if I want to create more aggregates, I can create more aggregates, not a problem. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss about NATO concepts. Okay, which we discussed yesterday also. So but we'll show this using GUI. Okay, and one more thing, bro. Yeah, we just stop the recording here. So have you worked on like, I mean, what are the Hitachi storages have you worked on? Okay, what about HNAS, Hitachi NAS? Okay, okay. So in Hitachi also I'll teach you a lot of things. I'll teach you storage management in both in block and file storage, and I also teach you replications, GAD, true copy, HU or shadow image and thin image. I'll teach you everything that is in the syllabus, okay, and more, because many things I am not able to. It will be very big, bro. This page, if I just mention everything, okay. And EMC also I'll teach you Power Max, local application, remote application, automations using Ansible, and Power Store T. Okay. I do not lab for Unity, otherwise I have taught you Unity. So and Netapp I'll teach you a lot of things. You can check the syllabus here. Apart from that, I'll also teach you how to do troubleshooting of storage in Linux environment, in VMware environment, and in DevOps environment. Like you have your Docker file or your Kubernetes pod is there where you are using Netapp for those. Okay, so if there is some issue, then how do you troubleshoot from storage end? And I also teach you cloud storage. Okay, so those things I'll teach you. Yeah, so you can just go through this. Uh, this is the page basically, and if you want to check, and yeah, I'll share my experience, whatever the issues I got while working on Hitachi, while working on EMC, while working on Netapp, while working on VMware, while working on different kind of replications, automations. I'll teach you what are the errors I got, because when you are going to give the interview, right, they'll ask you for real-time scenarios. They'll ask you what are the issues or challenges that you have faced in your own environment. Okay, so for that you have to, if you can tell them these are the things I got, these are the things, because suppose there is some bug is there, right, currently, they will ask you what this bug is there. If you're not working in NetApp, then you won't be able to tell that. You understand, right? Like Intune bug, SNMP bug, you will not be able to tell. Plex bug, okay? So different things are there. Hitachi is a very good storage. I have been working Hitachi since 2011, but the problem with Hitachi is that you don't get to do many things because it's a very stable storage. You'll not get issues. The only thing you'll get is disk failure. That's it. During configuration, you might get issues, but after your configuration is done, you'll not get many issues in Hitachi. And that is the problem, bro. Okay. EMC is also same. So this is Hitachi one certification I did, Hitachi performance analyzer certification. Uh, you can do certifications, but I'll tell you that you better, if you know Hitachi, it's enough, bro, because Hitachi people are very less. They will never ask you for certifications on Hitachi. You should do certifications on Netapp or EMC, not on Hitachi, because Hitachi people are very less. Okay, you can, if you want, you can do. It's not a problem. It's not a, it's not difficult. You should do a certification on cloud. You should do certification on any storage. You should do certification on an automation tool. That's it. Then you'll be very good. Like suppose you are applying for your dream job, like dream company, right? Deloitte or PwC, and then when you are applying, then you see that thousand more people are applying to it. You understand, right? Let me show you this. You'll see this. Oh, it's not coming. Anyway, maybe this one, yeah. Yeah. So you see this is a job, right? Azure Infrastructure Architect. You see how many people have applied to it? 1541 people for 6 openings. You understand, right? You understand, right? So that is a problem, bro. To just install this, download the Occam OVO template, latest version, and in my environment, the old Occam was very old, and we had to upgrade to the latest version. We have to upgrade twice, means to one code to another code, then the other code to another code. Okay. So what I did was I reinstalled completely. I just downloaded the latest code. I asked the VMware team to create a VM on that template. They created it, and then I just asked the IP of the VM, and then from the IP I configured the Occam. I added the Netapp arrays there. While adding the Netapp arrays, I had to open the HTTPS port 443 port, and also I had to renew the SSL certificates. Otherwise, it won't allow me to add. So I created the new certificate, I deleted the old certificate, and then I enabled the new certificate on the NetApp for both the nodes. If it's a one node cluster, then only one node, okay? And then it was fine, bro. Then I was able to see all my NetApp arrays. So the thing is, storage is easy, bro. Storage backup, these things are easy. Storage backup, cloud, automations, these are easy. These are not development, but you just have to give your time, give your effort to learn. Okay. So this is my YouTube channel. Let me click on it. Okay. So this is my YouTube channel. Okay. You can go through these videos. Uh, so these are I have explained about cloud storage. Okay. This is storage management using BlueXP. I've showed how to manage your Google Cloud, your on-premise physical NetApp array using BlueXP console. Okay, so that's what I've showed. I have so you can see this screen. Okay, I've just given everything here. Okay, BlueXP is NetApp cloud platform basically. It's a cloud platform through which you can integrate any cloud platform like Oracle, Google, AWS, Azure, and also you can add your other storages like Hitachi, EMC, everything. Okay,
Okay.
and you can do migrations like from a non-NetApp array to a NetApp array using BlueXP. Okay, so that's also I'll show you how to do that. The problem is, there are a lot of things to there are a lot of things, but if you know what I'm teaching you, right, you'll be able to clear any interview, bro, in Hitachi, EMC, and NetApp. Okay, EMC maybe not that much because EMC I'm only teaching Power Max and Power Store. The reason being, I do not have labs for that. But I know a lot of things in EMC because I've been working in EMC for a long time. My present project, I do not have EMC, unfortunately. So, but EMC is easy, bro, compared to NetApp. Okay, so just same CMC like commands that we executed since 2011, 2010, bro. DMX, then VMAX 10K, 20K, 40K came, then VMAX 3 came. VMAX 3 is basically all thin provisioning, all virtual LANs. We do not thick LANs. Then Power Max came, then lot of Azure file storage, like lot of storage is there, bro. Like Power Store T, we initially had Vplex, Equalipod, but nobody's using those things anymore. But NetApp is some array, NetApp is like uh, their marketing is very good, bro. You understand, right? The marketing, that's why they're able to survive. if you are using Azure Cloud, at the backend of Azure Cloud, you'll be using Netapp only. Okay. So if you're creating a hybrid environment, you can have your own storage. You can connect the storage to your cloud environment. The application will be on cloud, the server, everything you can manage using Terraform, but you can manage the infrastructure also, using Netapp arrays. So you can do that. This is another thing that I did. Okay. This is what I did was I showed how to protect the cloud volumes on tap for Google Cloud. Okay. I showed this thing here in this lab. Also, it's very slow. I don't know why it's not coming. Yeah. So initially, initially I had to set up some environment variable in Google Cloud CLI, G Cloud CLI. Then I did, I've just created the volumes in Google Cloud. I created the replications, everything in Blue, using Blue XP management. Okay, I created everything here. Okay, I'll show you this thing connected and all. So all these things I created. Okay, I also mounted the NFS export that I created in Linux. Okay, so these are all the things that I did. Okay, so whatever you want to learn, I'll teach you. Okay, it's not a problem. I'll teach you all the Netapp, Hitachi, and EMC, and I also teach you cloud storages. Okay, and migrations and automations. Okay, these are the training. I wanted to teach you more about Linux AX, but I will only teach you troubleshooting. But it will be very difficult, bro, because it's very difficult to teach everything. It will take a lot of time, bro. It will take like 6 months, 8 months. Okay, so that's the reason. Yeah, I should only because I'm also doing a job, right? So I also have to manage my own time. So I'm offering two coaching. One is like how to become a storage architect, and another one is how to become a cloud automation engineer. I could have taught Linux, AIX, VMware, all these things, but I don't want to because it's too much pressure, bro. Okay, so anyway, so we just go through and I'll share, all the documents, all the, these things also. Okay, so let me just